Start believing yourself in worst situation. God has created you for a purpose. Life में वो बहुत important है, याद रखना. Don't take any step stress related which will hurt his right. If you are a believer, right.
आपको बिल गेट बनने पे ही सक्सेस हुआ, ये तो कोई बात नहीं हुई, क्योंकि हम लोग भी बिल गेट्स नहीं है।
जितना ज़्यादा एंगेज करेंगे, जितना ज़्यादा उनको पॉजिटिव चीज़ों में एंगेज करेंगे, उससे कहीं ना कहीं हम स्ट्रेस को उनको एक स्ट्रेस बस्टर की तरह काम कर सकते
The only energy that connects us to the whole Brahmand or to each other.
So, welcome to the GolGuppen channel. This is Sharad Mohan from Noida. Today we have a lot of people here. The topic is going to be very fascinating for the youth. The topic of today will be, do we have a lot of choices or do we have less choices for the youth, because they are so much stressed in today's life, whether it's a career, whether it's a social media, whether they're in relationship with friends, parents, family. So we will be talking multiple things, but before I go there, मैं आपको अपने तीन esteemed panelists से इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहता हूँ. सो आई वुड रादर हैव देम इंट्रोड्यूस themselves. सो सबसे पहले मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ आपसे.
जी, नमस्कार। मेरा नाम डॉक्टर प्रशांत चौहान है और मैं एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर हूँ एमिटी यूनिवर्सिटी में इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज में, और मेरी एक्सपर्टीज एरिया सोशल वर्क और ह्यूमन राइट्स एंड लॉ एरिया है मेरा। थैंक यू।
नमस्कार सभी को, अभिनंदन। मेरा नाम नीरा मिश्रा है एंड मैं एक सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ और मेरी एक्सपर्टीज़ है एंशिएंट सिविलाइजेशन एंड कल्चर को किस तरह से हम प्रिजर्व कर सकते हैं, एंड सेकंड, हाउ टू गिव डायरेक्शन टू द यूथ to be able to be living a successful and a meaningful life. So these are the two verticals of our trust. I have founded a trust 22 years ago called the Draupadi Dream Trust, which started from the land of Draupadi and is now working in her place where she became the first Maharani, Indraprasth. Thank you.
I am Nilotpal Goswami and civil servant. So when I'm here, I'm just like one of you. So treat me like one. Thank you.
सो हैविंग सेड दैट, तो ये प्रोग्राम जो है हम लोग इंग्लिश में रखेंगे, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, एंड वी हैव फ्रेंड्स फ्रॉम नॉर्थ ईस्ट. सो ये बच्चियाँ भी जो भी भाषा बोलना चाहे, भाषा इज़ नॉट एन इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर हियर. तो हैविंग सेड दैट, मैं शुरुआत करता हूँ. सो टुडेज कॉलेज स्टूडेंट फेस, एंड आप लोग सुनिए इसको, numerous stressors across multiple life domains, चाहे वो academic and career pressures हो, चाहे financial challenges हो, right. Financial challenges जैसे कि struggling to save money, dealing with educational debt, या family fund कर रहे हैं आपके education में वो, uh, या फिर अगर आप इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हैं, या फॉर नॉर्थ ईस्ट अगर आप आ रहे हैं डिफरेंट एथनिसिटी में, राइट. So there are challenges like anxiety about the climate change, global the polarization, economic uncertainty, all kinds of stress आपको हो सकता है, right. Then there are mental health issue, emotional challenges. तो हम लोग इन सभी विषय पे बात करेंगे और आपसे सुनना चाहेंगे. You can have your questions, and then the esteemed guest panelist will be answering that. Second part, I will cover the social media aspect, जो कि it's an internet economy, and we spend so much time on the social media. उससे related क्या क्या challenges है, there is a word called FOMO, right. Have you heard about that, FOMO? Fear of missing out. ये बहुत बड़ा challenges होता है बच्चों में. So viewers, with that I'll get started, and पहले आप लोग अपना नाम बताएंगी, क्या कर रही हैं, and then any बताइए how you are handling your stress or challenges, and then.
Hello everyone. My name is Shona Thakur. I currently study in class 12. I too deal with a lot of stress in my daily life, but to cope up with, I do like to do activities. For example, if I'm studying for let's say 6 to 12 hours continuously, then I'll just go for a walk, maybe listen to music, etc.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohini Arora. I am a master second year student of development studies in Amity University. Well, stress for me is multi level and multifaceted. It can be financial, it can be educational, it can be emotional. And what I do to cope up with it is I listen to music and I just don't go out, don't interact with people. That's my only mechanism.
Hello everyone, I'm TCL Dumoi and I'm studying Master of Development Studies and I'm second year student. So whenever I'm feeling stressed about like education or like mental health problem, usually I used to just pray and sometimes I just read the Bible.
Hello everyone, my name is Kalash Thapa. I am pursuing masters in development studies from Amity University. And whenever I feel stressed or depressed, usually I practice bhakti and I do chant, and that's how I deal with my stress and like whatever problem in my life.
So you guys heard about their stress. So we'll start with you.
या सो इसमें मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि जैसा कि अभी हमारे यहाँ जो स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी यहाँ पर है, बीइंग ए प्रोफेसर एक यूनिवर्सिटी में पिछले ओवर अ डिकेड जो मैंने देखा है कि स्ट्रेस शब्द या मेंटल हेल्थ पे पहले बात नहीं होती थी, और अब धीरे धीरे करके लोगों में इस मेंटल हेल्थ को लेके भी लोगों में आया, क्योंकि नॉर्मली लोग पहले जब तबीयत खराब होती थी, बुखार आता था, उसी को मानते थे कि हेल्थ खराब है, मेंटल हेल्थ पे कोई फोकस नहीं करता था। लेकिन अभी पिछले कुछ वर्षों से इस पे भी ध्यान दिया जा रहा है, और जो बहुत ही एक अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि हमने ये देखा है कि स्टूडेंट लाइफ में स्पेशली जो युवा वर्ग है, क्योंकि इस बदलते हुए पूरे जो हमारा एक ग्लोबलाइजेशन हो, या फिर चाहे एकेडमिक प्रेशर हो, चाहे एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ की बात हो, इन सारी चीज़ों को देखते हुए, और कहीं ना कहीं जो सोशल मीडिया की बात अभी शरद जी ने इसको मेंशन किया था, कुछ ना कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी हुई हैं जो यूथ में एक ही टाइम पे बहुत सारी चीज़ों को करना और बहुत जल्दी प्राप्त करने की जो ऐसी एक रैट रेस सी शुरू हुई है, वो एक मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि स्टूडेंट्स में एक डिप्रेशन और मेंटल हेल्थ के इश्यूज को ऐसा देखने में हमने पाया है। और कहीं ना कहीं वही रीज़न है कि आज के समय में लोग सोशल मीडिया पे अगर फोटो लाइक ना हो, उससे भी डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं। और अब लाइफ में लोगों के मीनिंग्स चेंज हो गए हैं, फ्रेंडशिप में भी कई मायने बदल गए हैं, क्योंकि मैं उस तरीके की जनरेशन को डील कर रहा हूँ ओवर द इयर्स, तो मैंने देखा है कि मेंटल हेल्थ के कई पर्याय अब हो गए हैं, और सोच ऐसी हो गई है, तो इसमें मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत काम करने की ज़रूरत है, और इस शो में आपने इस टॉपिक को रखा है, ये बहुत ही एक सकारात्मक पहल है इस मुद्दे पे। और लास्ट में मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा इसमें कि यूथ को हम जितना ज़्यादा इंगेज करेंगे, जितना ज़्यादा उनको पॉजिटिव चीज़ों में इंगेज करेंगे, उससे कहीं ना कहीं हम स्ट्रेस को उनको एक स्ट्रेस बस्टर की तरह काम कर सकता है। और हम लोग इसी तरीके से अपने डिपार्टमेंट में यूनिवर्सिटी में करते हैं कि स्टूडेंट को एक पॉजिटिव कल्चरल सोशल एक्टिविटीज़ में इंगेज रखें, जिससे कि वो अपने प्रेशर को अपने ऊपर हावी ना होने दें, और कुछ सीखें और उसको आगे डील करें उसको।
See, as he said, I'll make it multilingual because I want everybody to understand. Uh, the topic was too many choices or too little choices, and the topic is mental stress. Now we have to understand, since I work on history, I have to understand, take it from that perspective. I grew up in a family which was a joint family, and we had so many aunts and so many cousins and so many people to talk to, that by the time we came back from school or college, we were discussing so many things, and that there was no pressure but that per se, because we had a foil on which we could take out our pressure. Today the environment is completely different. Not only has the joint family broken, but even the Single unit family is broken, and many a families there is only one mother or a one father as a parent. Sometimes the children are obviously staying alone. I also stayed in a hostel, but when we go back from a hostel, because we all came from a background where there were a lot of family members, we never felt as if we are under stress. The second reason, I think, that we have to understand the cause for the stress. I think the choices are too many. We have to be very focused. आप एक computer को ले लीजिए. If in your system, I always analyze this from a very scientific point of view. When I started teaching education, I used to tell them, if you are not computerate, you are illiterate. Consider your body as your mind as your hard disk, the brain as a computer, a hard disk, and the softwares that you use to process that information. Now whatever you feed in, only that information can be processed. You cannot process something. Same thing, whatever you eat, it is only that what you eat will make build your body. Each of us comes from an environment, has a constitution, has a particular DNA. If we are able to match that DNA and counter the cultural invasion of another DNA on us, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You will be able to be more stress free. So, one is building family relationships is very critical. Second is analyze that what is the information you are feeding to your brain. If you know what information you are feeding to your brain, as he said, okay, the rat race, we have to be successful. If we are calm and quiet and we focus on what is our goal, we will be successful. You don't have to be worried about what somebody else is saying to you. You have to be worried about what you think about yourself and what you want to achieve. Be focused on your vision and your mission in life. Your stress will be less. In terms of too many choices we have, what type of choices? Of course, an important choice comes when you go from school to college. But during our ancient system was such that during the brahmacharya they were already given opportunities for multiple activities, and by the time they became to go into higher education, they were pretty clear that we have to do this. अब तो इतनी choices हो गई है कि that हम उसको देखते हैं, अरे she is doing media and media has become very popular, why can't I go in media? Oh, she has become a doctorate, I wish also be a doctorate. So वो choices, don't go by what others are doing, go by what your mind, your body and your emotional capabilities can handle. And that is, you have to understand yourself. Unless you understand yourself, nobody else can really understand you. And how will you understand yourself? By communication. You communicate with peers, you communicate with parents, you communicate with teachers, and you assess yourself on a regular, I would say, yearly basis. Build your own assets. When you build your assets, you become an asset to yourself. And if you are an asset to yourself, you become an asset to family and you become an asset to the society. And the moment you are an asset to society, no matter in what field you are, you will be respected. So the idea is to get respect in society. The idea is to do something meaningful in society. If you take that, then try and make sure that when the multiple choices come to you, आपको खाने की choice हो जाती है. I mean, there is so much of bombardment on the TV and in the media and the press कि ये खा लो, वो खा लो, रोज नए पदार्थ आ जाते हैं खाने के लिए. Does it suit your body? Does it suit your climate? We have to make choices. You want your brain to be healthy, you want your body to be healthy. So you have to decide what you will eat so that your body does not get destroyed. What will you feed in your mind so that your mind will not get polluted? And to keep that clarity, कंप्यूटर में बहुत ज्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन आती है ना, वो एकदम से स्लो हो जाता है, वो चलता ही नहीं है. It just sleeps. So we have to every time boot it. Why get to this position in your mind? So stress comes the moment your body needs a boot. So you have to ensure that as you grow in life, as you move in life, understand कि भाई मेरे लिए तो ये अच्छा है. दुनिया कोई भी कुछ कहे, मैं अगर उसमें अच्छा हूं और मैं उसमें सक्सेसफुल होती हूं, तो दुनिया आपके कदम चूमेगी. ये मैंने देखा है. So that is my understanding of stress, that we should not be bothered about too many choices. We should make a choice which is good for our brain, good for our emotion and good for our body. And these things are You have to understand your own body, your own mind, and your own goal in life. As per that, you make your choices.
So, what I would say is like I would start with the term that Sharadji used, FOMO. Uh, so let's use the latest version of FOMO, which is I understand. Please correct me. It's JOMO, joy of missing out, because the fear of missing out is slightly, about 15-20 years past its usage. Now, why the generation picked the joy part of it? Because the fear was stressing them out. That if there's something where there is stress, then why even keep that in the term for day-to-day communication? So the JOMO word. So I like JOMO a lot. And the second most important part, ticker for me, is are we not stressed this side? We are. Uh, so is it anywhere different from what you experience, what you believe or perceive over a period of time? Uh, to answer that, or let's say to share my experience with you all, I would say let's focus just on the word stress. Stress perhaps could be the normal that we draw for ourselves. We draw normal for ourselves. You all are sitting here. If this position of sitting is normal for you or not, that is below par or above par, which means if you sit in some other posture, you would be better off, more comfortable. That is something where the comparison, the benchmarking of stress happens in the body, in the mind. And at the end of the day, we are body mind complexes. Uh, so let's explore this term stress for all of us. For all of us. Uh, Relationships matter to all of you as much as us. Finances matters to you, to us, to even Tata Builders. The only zeros are different in their case. And the social media, which means what is being said about us outside our understanding, is perhaps a very raw but somewhat definitive form of social media. That bothers all of us, bothers you, bothers us. So, what is it that is different that we would like to, kind of share our experience? What is it that we feel that over a period of time is different? Like within the group that is sitting here, you also have years. Not everybody has the same number of biological years, but maybe in terms of your mental years, maturity, you could be kind of giving us advice on something more that we could have done better. So, when you talk in terms of stresses and the normal that we define, you see, there is something which always keeps on operating in our minds. So, today is the day of elections. Today is also, these are the imageries which are there because this is all floating in Prayagraj, which is the Mahakumbh happening, crores. And today, Prime Minister's, Honorable Prime Minister is visiting. So, that's also there in your imagery as well as our imagery. We also see that Trump has got has made some executive orders. Your imagery, our imagery, it's getting affected. Maybe the Israel war, the Ukraine war, slightly. Now, this is something which I'm talking of the globe. Otherwise, now the onset of summers, we can feel it, right, in our skin. The temperature of the wind, and you know the speed with which the wind is blowing, the direction, the water that we touch in the morning, all that is changing, and we are perceiving that also. Do we Are we stressed on that? Yes, we are. About a month back, when it was very cold, so early morning was quite stressful, isn't it? Uh, and if we are not lucky and comfortable, it could kind of lead to many more things. So then, sitting here right now, like I don't know, uh, are you all absolutely comfortable right from your toe to head? Just think about it. Feel from your toe to your ankle to your knees to your hips, stomach, chest, throat. Absolutely relaxed. Are you? Try and make that. Try and feel that you'll be relaxed. Stress out. Need be. Take a soft but deep. By soft, I mean not very vigorously. Breath. Are you clear between the ears? Is it light on you? You can also try.
Yes, I'm almost yes. I'm just to achieve my goals that I've set for myself.
See, that's what I told you. All of us are stressed. So, are we light between the ears? If not, just breathe in as much as you can. And while breathing, you don't have to worry. You don't have to stress, be in any kind of stress that, may not look as pretty as I would want myself to be. That again is a separate benchmarking. Huh? Okay, I want my tummy to be actually tucked in, not for the day. So just breathe in, blow your tummy out, and then leave the breath. Think that you are leaving it from your head. But after you make your posture comfortable, whichever way, make your posture comfortable. Right from your toe to head. Breathe in, blow out your tummy, slowly leave your breath. But while you leave your breath, just imagine you are leaving it from this side. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. If you are breathing out from here, while you breathe in this time, can you see that you are breathing in the cooler air from your nostril? Can you feel it? Feel it. Feel that you are breathing in the air which is coming down to your lungs area, goes up to your tummy, blow that out, back. Now feel that it is coming out from your nose. You see, this was your body stress, all of it. And ultimately, similar such standards we keep within ourselves. Some of it and much of it has been talked by my other colleagues here. So it's a stress which we talk of. And what we just did was kind of tuning ourselves with our surrounding, with nature. Because you are here, this is the sunlight, this is the air that you are breathing in. Sharadji arranged for good snacks. I hope you all liked it. Did you? Or you wanted something else, some dim sums or something? He will. Yeah. No, he didn't. I set the menu for all of you. So whether or not what we are, what we think is at par, above par, or below par, apparently in me I find that is what creates the stress. It is for you to decide what happens in you. And the answer to this, or the solution to this, is all within each of us. All within each of us. Uh, we can go out and succeed to do anything. But before that, we have to just do one thing, to be in tandem with the nature around. So, when we talk in terms of the philosophy, it becomes very heavy to understand. But joining these elements of the nature and the person, मैन बोलने से आपको बुरा लग जाएगा, बल्कि मुझे तो ये बुरा लगा कोई मैन ही नहीं है. सो देर वॉज अ जेंडर इनिक्विटी, आप देख लो. हाँ नीरा जी, because no, so that is why I was insisting on her father to be here at least. मैं थोड़ा सा समझता कि एक otherwise somebody from MIT or her college her college would have really so college part of होने से थोड़ा सा they would have had told a finer nuance into their stress part. नहीं नहीं ठीक है, मतलब मेरी भी कोई इतनी उम्र हुई नहीं है नीरज जी. So I can very well sit there right behind them. So for me, choices आपने तब भी किया था जब आप ब्रीद इन कर रहे थे. चॉइसेस आपने तब भी किया था आपने किस पोज में बैठे थे. चॉइसेस तो हर जगह पे हैं. यू आर कॉन्स्टेंटली मेकिंग दोज चॉइसेस. So the choices are not of which career you choose. We hype that choice. We say that this career is something which if we don't do then something else. You see how we jump the layer? All those choices can be rationalized provided we are in some kind of equanimity, a balance with the nature around us, with the nature around us. And to my mind, the best way to practice it is to practice silence. Morning or before you go off to sleep, do whatever you feel like doing, like you all said that music or walking or some exercises, excellent. But just before you sleep and just after you get up, try and see if initially it will be for a smaller duration, if you can increase the time of silence around. Practice that. So,
Can I add on to this nature part first? Yeah. So I want to tell you two things. I'll first tell you about the silence part of it. There was a research by Ames, almost 20 years of research, not random research. And they wanted to understand the effect of sound and a particular type of sounds on the human mind and their development. And they first chose the Gayatri month because the Gayatri month has been given in ancient times to the child when he or she enters the Gurukul. Okay, उनको एक गायत्री मंत्र मिलता था और जनेऊ मिलता था. एंड यू नो इवन women used to get जनेऊ. आजकल तो इतनी सारी भ्रांतियां फैला दी हैं. I mean women also used to get. There was, yeah. So that was the mark that you have now entered the stage of brahmacharya. Now the Gayatri month they analyzed for 20 years and said it does three things. Uh, Again, coming back to the computer analysis, what does our brain need? Good processing speed. It needs good memory, and needs good capacity to be able to take all the knowledge. This is what the Gayatri month did to the brain of the humans. That is why it was given. So if you practice the Gayatri month, your brain will automatically will be more receptive, faster in processing, etc. But the second part I want to tell you, नेचर की इन्होंने बात कही, वी बिलीव, वी गिव अ नेम ऑफ माँ टू ऑल आवर important icons of nature. So rivers are ma, Ganga ma, Yamuna ma, because they are the janani of our civilization. Only one father. Then no, no, which only father river is? No, one Brahmaputra. और कौन सी है? अच्छा. Now, Saraswati is the Devi of knowledge. If you analyze the Saraswati sitting on a lotus posture or on a hans, what does she carry? She has a spirit. She has a mala in her hand. That is, be spiritual. What is spiritual? Connecting with the Brahmand. Okay, that is nature. That is spirit. Because in spirit we are connected to all nature. Number two, she has the books in her hand. So be knowledgeable, acquire knowledge, be spiritual, and then she has a veena. So what does that veena represent? It represents rhythmic sound, the only energy that connects us to the whole Brahmand or to each other is sound. But how the sound connects, if it is rhythmic, if I speak pleasantly to you, you will connect with me. But if I don't speak pleasantly to you, you will not connect with me. Same with the nature. So she represents that. And third thing, she's sitting on a lotus. So the lotus represents that you have to go through a lot of turmoils. जो कहते हैं ना कीचड़ में से निकल के फूल ऊपर आता है. So you have to go through a lot of experiences, lot of turmoils. All may not be good. So all that कीचड़ you leave behind, you sieve the best and you rise above. Like the lotus leaves actually cover that place and then the lotus comes out. And sometimes she's shown as sitting on a hans. Now hans की एक special quality है, and that is if you mix water and milk, it will take away the milk and leave the water. That is the quality of discretion. So very very wisely our ancient seers, when they introduce us to getting into knowledge, they introduced us that you have to acquire these qualities. You have to acquire to be friendly with nature, you have to acquire knowledge, the best knowledge. And remember, all our ancient books are scientific, very very scientific, because they understand the science of the world. Those Veda is science, Veda is root of knowledge. And then you learn to be communication, and you connect with the whole world with the knowledge, because knowledge is useless unless it's communicable. Knowledge is useless unless it is useful, है ना? तो नॉलेज को व्यवहारिक बनाने के लिए आपको उन्होंने वो सूत्र दिए. So I think we need to understand ourselves in that perspective, and then your choices and your stress will go down. And as he said, practice silence, practice meditation, listen to music. These are things that will de-stress you, but listen to soft music, not loud music.
So thanks all the three guests and panelists for a very informative जवाब आपने दिया. But आप लोग देखिए स्ट्रेस हो गए होंगे, right? Sermons like I've been now wearing the David's advocate hat, right? So सर लोग ने सरमन दिया, मैम ने भी दिया, आप लोग ऐसे करो वैसे करो. प्रोफेसर साहब वाज फीलिंग अनकंफर्टेबल, सो इनका स्ट्रेस रिलीज करने के लिए वी आस्क्ड हिम टू ये लोकेशन छोड़िए, गेट कम बैक, राइट? अगर आप वाटर को देखते हैं तो वाटर को अगर तुम किसी कंपार्टमेंट में डालोगी, कोई भी पिक्चर में डालोगी, इट्स स्ट्रेस्ड आउट. इफ इट्स अलाउड टू फ्री, सो यू विल हैव क्वेश्चंस. तुम लोग पूछ सकती हो कि आप लोग ने बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें बोली, गायत्री मंत्र, ब्रीद इन ब्रीद आउट, based on your faith, the different things, right? आप practice कर सकते हो. But again, sir and guest लोग, ये जो बच्चे हैं ये सोचते हैं कि because of the information era they have lot of information than what we think they don't know. They have but इनका प्रश्न ये है कि जो choices की हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, for example let's start one by one. Academics. अब आजकल के ज़माने में स्कूल एंड कॉलेज एजुकेशन का रेलेवेंस क्या रहा, राइट? इफ दे गेट सम डिग्री फ्रॉम आईवी इंस्टीट्यूट और एनी इंस्टीट्यूट, will that degree fetch them a job? वो इनको स्ट्रेस है उसके लिए, the amount of time they are putting, the हाँ इनसे ये लोग कहेंगे, मैं इनके बिहाफ में आप लोग से पूछ रहा हूँ, ये लोग फिर हाँ
We, based on our life experience, we go one or two stages ahead. Kids, by kids I mean, okay, for this generation, grown up adults, they would not like to go that much ahead. Now, that's one point of stress between relations. Why I say this is the kind of response I see from the younger generation, from the generation which is, uh, whereas we see from a perspective where we grew up. In India, when we grew up, like, I'm talking of typically 80s and 90s, when I was kind of early 90s I got into. So we had very few options. Now, we were clearly told that there is no alternative, and we could also see around. So similarly, what the present generation is also seeing around, and they are seeing many more alternatives happening. And thanks to the social media or the internet, they are seeing success stories also. But our generation may or may not be giving that much credit to that success unless it is a multi-billion dollar story. ठीक है, लेकिन सक्सेस तो बहुत होते हैं ना. आपको बिल गेट बनने पे ही सक्सेस हुआ ये तो कोई बात नहीं हुई, क्योंकि हम लोग भी बिल गेट्स नहीं है. तो सक्सेस की डेफिनेशन, उसके माइलस्टोन्स कैसे सेट किया जाए, वहां पे एक मतभेद कहेंगे है. तो एज अ फादर और एज अ गार्जियन व्हेन वी टॉक, we kind of get into that trap, and I would avoid that. इसीलिए वो तो हम ये चाहें कि जिसका स्ट्रेस अगर है, if that individual wants to describe his or her stress, वो describe करें. But कैसे स्टेमिना बिल्ड कर सकते हैं, कोई भी स्ट्रेस हो, पहले स्ट्रेस डिफाइन करें, मेजर करें, उस पे वो अलग स्टोरी है. बट स्ट्रेस पॉइंट ये है नहीं मेरे हिसाब से.
सो मैं इनसे बात कर रहा था, मैं इनसे पूछ रहा था कि इसका एग्जाम है, व्हाई शी वुड नीड टू मग अप द क्वेश्चंस, एंड इनको अगर ऐसा एजुकेशन सिस्टम हो जहाँ पे दे आर टॉट कि वो राइट जगह पे जाकर और राइट सॉल्यूशन दें व्हेन दे आर इन द इंडस्ट्री, why they need to learn up books after books and give the exam just to get certain degree? So एक वो stress है.
मुझे पूछना भी नहीं है, मैं बता दूं वो स्ट्रेस ही नहीं है. ये जो इंडस्ट्री लिंकेज है ना, ये हम लोग की प्रॉब्लम है, ये इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट की प्रॉब्लम है, इकोनॉमिस्ट की प्रॉब्लम है. जिनको कंट्री इकोनॉमी पॉलिसी चलाना है, उनको लग रहा है कि कहीं यहाँ से भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हो, वहां से भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हो, सब कन्वर्ज करें, जीटीपी में कंट्रीब्यूट करें. व्हाई आर वी इवन काइंड ऑफ सेइंग कि भाई आप भी एक और जोड़ लो अपने लिस्ट में, ये भी आपका प्रॉब्लम है. आपका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है वो. एक, मैं दूसरा वाला भी कह देता हूं जो आई विल ब्रेक इनटू टू पीसेस. वन यू आर सेइंग कि answer the question which should come out of your experience and inculcating the subject. ये भी उनका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सीबीएसई हम लोग ने बनाया है, यूजीसी हमने बनाया है. अब यूजीसी रिफॉर्म या सीबीएसई रिफॉर्म कौन बच्चा कर सकता है? अरे बच्चा सीआर अपना सही से तो इवन एब्सेंट भी नहीं मार्क कर सकता, वो बच्चा ही पीछे बैठ के लपेट देगा. तो आई मीन, let us be real about the stress. Let's not add to that. I mean, ये मेरा सबमिशन होगा, वो होता नहीं है. ये हम लोग कहते हैं कि नहीं 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 भाई सीबीएसई बदल डालेंगे. आई कैन टेल यू, एनईपी में मैंने काम किया, ठीक है, 3 साल काम करने के बाद कुछ निकला. इट्स अ वेरी गुड रिपोर्ट, रिपोर्ट वाइज बहुत अच्छा है फॉर दोज हु वांट टू स्टडी. इंप्लीमेंटेशन आज दिख रहा है, क्योंकि 20 में इम्प्लीमेंट हो गया था. ठीक है, and this is 25 now. So whether it be higher education, primary or secondary education, we see what is, but education has a gestation period of 20 years. Now, but this is my problem, no. This is somebody else's problem. So to say two things, to my mind, we need a different kind of conversation, which is the education system should be changed. B, it should be made skill based and more productive. So that is not, that is the stress we have. Definitely we have, but solution or not is a separate conversation.
आप देख रहे हैं व्यूअर्स, पैशन इज फ्लाइंग हाई, और अब मैं बच्चों से सुनना चाहूंगा, आप लोग ही पूछें.
About myself, like I know that I'm gonna I can climb mountains in order to achieve a thing. Okay, but it's like I know I will do my best, but sometimes I am not able to express it, or maybe when I'm so stressed, it's like I know I'm gonna achieve that particular thing, but still there are, like suppose I'm in 12th class, I have like I need to decide what college I need to get into, what courses are there, how the I mean there are choices, no doubt, but that direction to a right path is missing. That makes me kind of stressed if I talk about myself.
So to all the kids here, see, please take a choice. Are you ranting is the word which is not very bad in your. Are you ranting? Then we should not answer. Huh? Good, you do. If you are ranting and you want to vent it, good. But say that, please, just it's a rant. Huh? Don't give your answers. But आप बता देना, मतलब हम लोग बहक जाते हैं, हम लोग ना उसका जवाब देने लगते हैं, तो वो, और अगर आपको जवाब चाहिए तो तीन चार तो हैं, चार लोग हैं, आप उनसे पूछ लीजिए कि किसी व्यक्ति विशेष से, any specific person whom you would want to respond. Otherwise, be very clear. Huh? I really won't mind if all of you say कि this is my rant, okay? And in rant, please, it's a, हमारा रूल ये है कि हम लोग सिर्फ सुनेंगे.
Specific question.
And ma'am said about some music. Why not Taylor Swift? Why only some music which ma'am is suggesting, right? Ask any question. Come on. चलो उनका rant में.
Well, I to like Kishore Kumar. I'm a huge Kishore Kumar fan, so I only listen to him. Rest, my stresses. It's not a rant. So my stresses when I study. Okay, I had done my graduation in journalism. Then I decided whether should I opt for journalism and masters or not. But then I thought, why not go for development communication? Then I searched on Google because Google is a vast area. तो वहाँ पे search करके I thought of having development studies, which is not at a lot of colleges in India. So I chose Amity because I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship there. Now I'm studying and studying, but then I realize, are skills enough or is study enough? Because जो मेरे suppose batchmates हैं या फिर दूसरे department के students हैं, they have certain access, or access in terms of maybe family background हो सकता है, or maybe some are fortunate enough to go to networking, but family background too. कुछ लोग हैं जिनका प्लान है कि they have because enough money so they'll go to foreign universities and what all. So should I continue being the hard working child कि पढ़ते रहो पढ़ते रहो पढ़ते रहो और कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा, और should I कि इंडस्ट्री में जाके मैं वर्क करूँ कुछ सालों तक वर्क करूँ एंड देन आई रीच एट अ सर्टेन पॉइंट, या फिर आजकल क्योंकि सोशल मीडिया इतना ज्यादा है तो वी सी इन्फ्लुएंसर्स कि उनके पास तो सब इजी से हो रहा है पर हम लोग पढ़े जा रहे हैं, मेहनत कर रहे हैं सर. पर सपोज एक स्टूडेंट है जो कि पीएचडी कर रहा है और जिसने साइंस में बहुत सारी इन्वेंशंस की है, लेकिन एक है जो सिर्फ ड्रेसेस चेंज करके दे आर अर्निंग अ लॉट. तो ये डिफरेंस है.
I'll only respond to the last portion of it. The prior parts, you will have to point out who has to respond. The last one, because that good example came to me. Gaurav, you know that, yeah. So he's an influencer, huge, immense, right? as a flyer, he was indisciplined. That's why he was thrown out. So he was not a success. And you know, flying is a very expensive thing. Huh? He goes out. His wife is still flying, perhaps. All of you have seen his child growing. वहां से ही उसकी influence बढ़ी और now I know is operates in millions, na? Then he went to Shark Tank. Some of you may know. Just about 3 weeks back, he was in Shark Tank, and he went with a this thing project, a startup idea. He failed there. He miserably failed there. So you see, between two stages, a flyer who has spent lakhs, total crore में हो गया होगा in getting those licenses, because for if every damn machine for a period you have to have a license, and which is very expensive. And he's kicked out, thrown out, exited. I don't know his influence levels, where it reaches, and then some troll comes back to him. Uh, so, only to your last part, to imagine that the influencer, because he's the influencer, you are able to see that reel of wherever the influencing is happening, YouTube, this thing, for those few seconds or minutes when you are able to see, you perhaps start believing कि that's his about 24/7 life. होता नहीं है. So I told you that this particular story, failure, success, failure. But this success still remains if he is able to hold, and nothing is permanent. So for the rest of the question, your take.
जो जैसा कि यहाँ पे इन्होंने मोहिनी ने बोला कि मैंने ग्रेजुएशन की, हम जितने भी लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं और मैं इंक्लूड करूँगा, क्योंकि जब हम पढ़ते हैं, तैयारी करते हैं, तो कितने लाखों लोग तैयारी करते हैं और कितने लोग उसमें गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज में आ पाते हैं। तो जो नहीं आ पाते हैं, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो काबिल नहीं है, या जो लोग आज किसी अच्छी जगह पे हैं तो वही लोग हैं उसके काबिल और दूसरे लोग नहीं हैं। तो पहली बात तो हमें अपनी सोच को, ये शुरू से चला आ रहा है एक्चुअली, और ऐसा नहीं है कि ये चीज़ें अभी शुरू हुई हैं। हाँ, अब कम्युनिकेशन बहुत फास्ट हो गया है। आज जो हम ये बातें कर रहे हैं, ये जो शो हो रहा है, क्या आज से 20 साल पहले जब मैं अपने एक उस दौर में था, तो ना यूट्यूब था, ना फेसबुक था, इवन मोबाइल फोन्स भी नहीं होते थे, है ना? वी वर यूज्ड टू हैव दिस लैंडलाइन फोन्स, और टेलीविजन एकमात्र साधन होता था जिसमें कि वो भी दूरदर्शन की ज़्यादा उसमें प्रोग्राम्स थे। तो मेरा कहने का यहाँ मतलब ये है कि आज चॉइसेस बढ़ी हैं, और सकारात्मक वे से मैं उसको देखता हूँ। आज स्टूडेंट्स के पास, यूथ के पास देखिए दो चीज़ें, एक एजुकेशन है और एक स्किल है। देर इज़ अ बेसिक थिंग वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं लेकिन हमारी चॉइसेस है। हमने कितने लोग हैं आप देखिए जो आज पॉलिटिक्स में हैं, उन्होंने पॉलिटिकल साइंस की पढ़ाई नहीं की है। अगर कोई कहे कि हम सब्जेक्ट वाइज अगर चल रहे हैं, या हम किसी और भी एरिया को देखें, तो आज ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जो कि बहुत अच्छे शेफ बने हुए हैं जिन्होंने कोई इस तरीके का हॉस्पिटैलिटी का कोर्स नहीं किया हुआ है। तो बात यह है कि आपको किस समय अपनी ओरिएंटेशन और चॉइस को, अपने आप को आप समझ पा रहे हैं, सबसे बड़ी बात। क्योंकि मैं इस पे मानूंगा कि कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारे पेरेंट्स हैं या जो सोसाइटी है, वो हमको जज करती है और हमसे एक्सपेक्ट करती है कि हम वो करें जो वो चाहते हैं, ना कि जो हमारी चॉइस है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि यूथ को अपनी चॉइसेस को समझना चाहिए, अपनी स्ट्रेंथ को समझना चाहिए, और डिसीजन उनको उस हिसाब से लेना चाहिए कि चाहे वो पढ़ाई कोई भी हो, आप चाहे जर्नलिज्म पढ़ लें, आप इंजीनियरिंग कर लें। हमने देखा हमारे यहाँ सिविल कंप्यूटर साइंस छोड़ के बच्चे एमएसडब्ल्यू करने के लिए आए, बीटेक की डिग्री लेने के बाद आए। तो ये कोई डिग्री एक पैमाना आपकी चॉइस का या आपकी पर्सनालिटी को डिफाइन नहीं करता है। ये आपकी अपनी इंटरेस्ट और आपका कमिटमेंट किस फील्ड में है और आप आगे कैसे देख रहे हैं। और देखिए बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं जहां लोगों ने अपनी करियर को पीक पे आके छोड़ दिया। या शरद जी का ही एग्जाम्पल लूंगा। आप इतनी बड़ी एक आईटी कंपनी में थे और आज आप इसमें अपने इंटरेस्ट एरिया को एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं, इस चैनल को बना के और ये चीज़ें करके। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वी डू नॉट शुड हैव थिंक इन दैट लाइन। हाँ, पैशन को फॉलो करिए, इंटरेस्ट को, और वो बदल भी सकता है। मत सोचिए कि अरे यार मैं तो सोचता था कि मैं सिविल सर्विसेज में जाऊंगा और आज तो मैं जो है होटल मैनेजमेंट की सोच रहा हूँ। ऐसा मत सोचिए, क्योंकि देखिए हर चीज में प्रोग्रेस है, प्रगति है, अगर आप उसमें 100% दे पा रहे हैं और आप सेटिस्फाइड हैं। क्योंकि हम आज बात जो आपको हमें से खुशी मिले, क्योंकि आउटपुट हम उसी में। मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं खुद एक यूनिवर्सिटी में प्रोफेसर बनूंगा डायरेक्टली, दो आई वाज इनटू एजुकेशन, आई वाज हैंडलिंग कंप्यूटर ट्रेनिंग सेंटर एंड ऑल, बट आई नेवर थॉट कि आई विल जॉइन यूनिवर्सिटी। माय फादर वाज अ लॉयर, आई थॉट आई विल बिकम अ लॉयर, आई डिड लॉ फर्स्ट। तो मुझे था कि हम लॉयर ही बनेंगे, लेकिन मुझे तो ये कभी कभी आपको इंटरेस्ट एरिया बदल देते हैं। तो मेरी आप लोगों से गुजारिश है, जो लोग इस शो को देख रहे हैं, स्पेशली युवा, कि किसी बंधन में मत बंधिए। हम जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं सभी लोग एक अपनी अपनी अलग अलग फील्ड के हैं, अपनी अपनी सोच है सबकी, और बहुत इनोवेटिव चीजें हो रही हैं, और बहुत लोगों में बदलाव आ रहा है। शायद जो हम लोग अभी बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जो ऐसा काम कर रहे हैं जो अभी हम लोग उनके बारे उन तक भी पहुंच नहीं पाए हैं। तो इसलिए हमको पॉजिटिव रहना चाहिए, और अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर करिए, और चेंजेस से मत डरिए कि अरे यार हमने तो हिस्ट्री पढ़ा था तो अब हम कम्युनिकेशन में कैसे जाएं, या हम सीएसआर में कैसे जाएं, या एनजीओ क्यों बनाएं क्योंकि हमने एमएसडब्ल्यू नहीं किया है। तो ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है, कोई भी व्यक्ति कोई भी कार्य कर सकता है अगर उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस है और इंटरेस्ट है। थैंक यू।
तो अभी मैं आपसे बात कर।
पूछना है, लाइक अगर किसी को स्ट्रेस नहीं है, कोई यंग जनरेशन को स्ट्रेस नहीं है, तो वाई सोसाइटी लाइक क्यों उसे पुश करती है कि स्ट्रेस करो, लाइक आई थिंक लाइक जैसे कि मुझे भी स्ट्रेस नहीं है, लाइक आई एम बॉदर अबाउट माई फ्यूचर, लाइक ओके आई हैव टू डू, इट्स अ नॉर्मल, बट लाइक आई एम नॉट डिप्रेस्ड एंड आई एम नॉट स्ट्रेस्ड, बट लाइक वाई सोसाइटी लाइक नो यू हैव टू दिस, यू हैव टू दिस, यू हैव टू दिस, एंड इवन लाइक मैं खुद क्यों किसी अपने आप को फोर्स करती हूँ कि अरे मुझे ये करना है, मुझे वो करना है, लाइक मैं नहीं चाहती हूँ, बट क्यों मैं सोसाइटी के उस पैरामीटर्स में खड़ी उतरना चाहती हूँ। तो ये आई थिंक हमारी जो जनरेशन है।
I have one simple question. One simple question for ma'am. Like you said before that um, like having a good bond with parents is like a good idea to reduce our stress or something. Like, what if I have some problems that I cannot talk with my friends or like with my parents? What should I do on that time?
This stress has come because from childhood your parents and you have not had a ha- some parents ke sath your bondage is not there. So what you should do is you should depending on what the problem is, you should maybe read up something about it or discuss with, if you have a good friend circle, or if you have a teacher with whom you can communicate better, somebody you feel that you are comfortable in communicating, then otherwise you do your own research on it. What is it that is troubling you? You go and research, because there's so much of, today the social media is full of videos on these aspects of different aspects of how you should understand what aspect which is troubling you. So I think if your parents are not there, if you don't have a good teacher, if you don't have a good brother or a sister, depending on the topic, maybe some things you don't want to discuss with a male member, you want to discuss with only a female person, but you don't have a good person you can rely on. So do your own research, read about it, but don't worry about it. You see, worry is like a rocking chair. It will give you something to do, you'll sit in one place and keep it, but it will never take you anywhere. So don't worry about it. Analyze, find out from the net, from the books, which are the best books on it. See, Google auntie is very helpful nowadays. And so go to Google auntie, go to YouTube, search the right thing, and don't go by one person. If you're confused, listen to two, three, four people, and then make your assessment. Because if you have come to a university, that means you have a very good intelligence level to reach here. So yes, and there are a lot of NGOs who give you online support. There's an NGO called Sanjeevani in Delhi also, and who can guide you. So you can, and our NGO also does this. Anybody who is in a problem on any communication, like any issues that they are facing in life, but there's no one to guide them. because their family backup is such that it's not really helpful. It's more stressful than, it becomes more stressful to them. So that is why I think we can help you. We can guide you with NGOs which help in this. But as I said, you are intelligent enough to have come to a university. So don't underestimate yourself and don't let a worry destroy your present and future. And be happy in what you are doing. If you are happy in something, you will really be successful.
Professor Saab, whenever you take these kids back, you're going to take them back to the university, right? You buy a small plant, whichever you like, take care of it, and then implement whatever she said. But take care of it. It should grow, and this is the right time actually. Plants would grow now. नहीं नहीं philosophy will come. Philosophy will come for the, as I said, it's a quick fix. If there is a problem and if there is a requirement of an external agency to help, I'm saying it's a very good solution. Uh, there are layers of complexities, but I'm not even getting into that. I said it's a great solution, but the solution which is absolutely cheap and comes like this is buy a plant, see it grow, and give it enough water that it grows and it doesn't die. If it dies, don't feel sad, get another one. Second or third time, you will succeed. And by that time, magic, your main problem would have got solved. I can bet it with or without any external help. That is
No, but
kind of the
communication is very
life
important.
experience that I'm sharing with you.
That is nurturing a plant, but at the same time, start opening a communication with somebody you feel will be able to guide you. So, as I said, we are always there. He knows we are always there 24 by 7.
On her behalf or people like her or all the students, first of all, don't open up to someone जहाँ पे आपको confidence नहीं है. Don't share your personal data to whoever it is. Don't go by just words, right? That sixth sense should tell you whether you are safe or not to open your data, right? Madam and all the NGOs, they can definitely help you. But remember, God has created you for a purpose. Always believe in that. So ये दो चीज जानो, know yourself. There will be a barrage of question and solution on internet, chat GPT. How would you know what is right or what is wrong? So I would say start believing yourself. In worst situation, God has created you for a purpose. Life में वो बहुत important है, याद रखना. Don't take any step stress related which will hurt his right. If you are a believer, right?